What's more American? The Carlton's Jr. narrator asks in a 2015 advertisement for the most American thick burger, than a girl, swimsuit model Samantha Hoops, biting into a potato chip stuffed cheeseburger that's topped with a grilled hot dog, in a bikini. Camera zooms out to reveal Sheps wearing a Stars and Stripes string bikini, in a hot tub, covered with stars and stripes, in a truck, a crew cab pickup with an American flag paint job, on an aircraft carrier, with fighter planes taking off, underneath the Statue of Liberty. Final shot, Hoops biting into the huge burger, then most American. This commercial is the marketing vision of Andrew Puzder, the chief executive officer of CKE Restaurants, owner of Carlton's Jr. and Hardee's, and now President Donald Trump's nominee for Secretary of Labor. Puzder's appeal to young, hungry guys and their version of what makes America great helped two struggling fast food chains become, if not top contenders, at least contenders. I like beautiful women eating burgers in bikinis. I think it's very American, Puzder, Hotm66, said of that ad to Entrepreneur magazine. I used to hear brands take on the personality of the CEO. And I rarely thought that was true, but I think this one, in this case, it kind of did take on my personality. That personality is also what makes him one of the most Trump-like of all Trump appointments. He got the president's attention in some of the same ways Trump got Americans. Puzder has teased competitors, casually denigrated the workforce he relies on, and rallied customers with an anti-PC snubbing of the quinoa-eating elite. Unlike Trump, though, Puzder maintains a consistent ideology: free markets, free trade, and zero-sum, trickle-down economics. 6 days after the election, Puzder lean, balding, dark-suited addressed a restaurant industry event at the Bellagio Hotel in Las Vegas. More government is not the solution to every problem, it's the problem to every solution, he said. They punish us for being in business to make a profit. Within a few days he got word that he might be joining the government. Puzder's confirmation hearing, originally set for mid-January and now scheduled for February 16, had been pushed back 4 times, in part because he believed he could transfer his holdings into a blind trust rather than divest, says someone familiar with the matter. Puzder's stake in 2012 he owned about 4.3% of the private company, according to filings analyzed by Bloomberg, presented too much of a conflict of interest, though. Puzder has agreed to sell the stake, which is worth as much as $50 million, if he's confirmed. According to his federal financial disclosures and ethics agreement, he also agreed to forfeit an unvested stake of as much as $5 million, according to the documents, which were dated February 7. Opponents have used the delay to criticize his company's treatment of workers. Supporters have produced line cooks and cashiers at the two chains to describe how much they love their jobs. Puzder has been mostly silent, except to defend himself for once employing a housekeeper he says he didn't realize was undocumented. Although Carlton's Jr. is a reflection of Puzder, for a long time it was a reflection of its namesake, Carl Karcher, who started selling hot dogs from a cart in South Central Los Angeles in 1941 and opened the first Carlton's Jr. burger joint 15 years later. Karcher, a devout Catholic, married with 12 children, would hand out coupons for free burgers with a Bible verse on the side. He began company meetings by reciting the Pledges of Allegiance and the Prayer of St. Francis of Assisi. In 1978 protesters targeted his restaurants when he unsuccessfully backed a proposition that would have allowed public schools to fire gay teachers. Still, a year later, sales reached $100 million, and Karcher opened his first restaurant outside California, in Las Vegas. The company went public in 1981, and legal and financial woes followed, which is how he met Puzder. Like Karcher, Puzder came from a working-class Catholic family in Ohio. He got caught up in the counterculture, grew his hair, played guitar, went to Woodstock, and marched on Washington in 1969 to protest the Vietnam War. He was studying at Kent State when Ohio National Guardsmen killed 4 students in 1970. He dropped out, played in rock bands for 3 years, married, and had kids. He eventually graduated from Cleveland State University, then received a law degree from Washington University in St. Louis. At some point, Pusterton's politics seemed to have shifted, though it was not something Hems discussed in public. By the 1980s he was a member of the St. Louis Republican establishment, helping Missouri Governor John Ashcraft draft a strict anti-abortion law. During those years, Pusterton's first marriage fell apart. Lisa Henning, now Lisa Fierstein, alleged in divorce proceedings that he had attacked her, and while he acknowledged that police were called to their disputes twice, he denied any physical abuse. Fierstein retracted her allegations in 1990, and on January 18 sent the Senate committee considering his nomination a page-and-a-half letter to clear any character damage she thought her accusations might have inflicted. "What we should have handled in a mature and private way," the letter said, became a contentious and ugly public divorce. Soon after the divorce, Puster married his current wife, Deanna Deeser. The next day he flew out to meet Karcher. He had been sued in Kansas City, Mo, and Puster was referred to him as a good local trial lawyer. He became Karcherton's personal attorney, helping him avoid bankruptcy, and then was hired as general counsel for the company. The men went to the same church and shared political views. In the late 1990s the company bought Hardee's, a struggling chain of about 3,000 restaurants located mostly in the South and Midwest, where Carlton's Jr. hadn't established itself. The acquisition strained the company's finances, though, and Karcher was forced out. In 2000, Puster was appointed CEO. "Well, I think they really just said, let 'em see if the cocky lawyer can fix it," he recalled in a 2009 oral history of the company conducted by California State University at Fullerton. The first memo Puster wrote to Hardee's managers was direct: "No more people behind the counter unless they have all their teeth." He closed some restaurants and directed the franchisees, who owned about half of all Hardee's, to remodel, but that wasn't enough to revive the brand. "You go into a store, and threatens a guy with a dirty shirt who is rude, and then you remodel the store, but the customers still go in and find a guy with a dirty shirt who is rude," he later recounted to a trade publication. Slowly, Hardee's came around. Sales in established restaurants increased in 2004 for the first time in years. Still, Pusterton's estimation of the workforce remained low. Hardee's was hiring the best of the worst. "It was kind of the bottom of the pool," he said in a 2011 speech CNN recently dug up. Puster knew Hardee's and Carlton's Jr. couldn't compete with McDonald's for families. Instead, they didn't come up with big, calories-be-damned burgers to appeal to young men, the original and most loyal fast food eaters, and market the brands as if they were beer labels. The first ad featured Paris Hilton, in a barely there black bathing suit, soaping up a Bentley before biting into a spicy burger. A print group criticized the ad as softcore porn. Puster told them to get a life. And so it went for years. Padma Lakshmi ate a bacon western thick burger, Kate Upton promoted the Southwest patty melt, Kim Kardashian introduced an indulgent salad, Heidi Klum bit into a Jim Beam bourbon burger. Charlotte McKinney walked naked through a farmer's market, her body parts concealed by a series of visual double entendres, chest blocked from view by melons, etc., to introduce its all-natural burger during the 2015 Super Bowl. A bacon three-way burger commercial suggested just that. Karcher, who died in 2008, told Puster he hated the ads. Women criticized them as misogynistic, and some franchisees were embarrassed. But millions viewed them. Puster said his wife approved each one. Troy Martin Wurtzma and her husband are part owners of about 200 Carlton's Jr. restaurants in California. She says she first thought the ads were too raunchy but changed her mind when sales increased. "If you're in the business to make a profit, that's what you need," she says. "Andy kept making the right decisions for the company," says Melissa Robinson Kaggans, who worked for Ketchum's marketing agency and then the company itself from 2008 to 2015. "He doesn't apologize, and I respect that." In 2010, as the recession bit into sales, CKE was acquired by private equity firm Apollo Global Management for about $1 billion, including $310 million in debt. When Apollo tried to take the company public again in 2012, KEM's financial prospects weren't strong enough to attract any interest. Posner blamed market conditions,